Jimin and Jungkook were caught on camera walking together on a sidewalk in Manhattan, New York. There was no official escort, no prior announcement, and most surprisingly, no media activity or related promotion. However, the appearance of these two global icons in such a relaxed and warm atmosphere immediately drew public attention and sparked a major question: what really happened that night? Circulating photos and videos showed Jimin and Jungkook walking side by side, seemingly chatting and laughing. Jimin wore a simple white outfit, while Jungkook appeared casual in a dark hoodie. Both looked calm and seemed to enjoy their time together with no sign that the moment was staged for public consumption. In a clip captured by a fan, Jimin is seen leaning his body gently toward Jungkook, who responds with a wide smile. That moment triggered a wave of emotional reactions from fans worldwide. This encounter was not only unannounced, but also happened very soon after Jungkook's recent departure to the United States. He was known to have left South Korea on a private, undisclosed agenda, accompanied by his manager, and so far, there has been no official statement from any related parties regarding his trip. Meanwhile, Jimin followed to New York without a staff entourage or public schedule. His departure was noticed by fans at Incheon Airport, but at that time, the purpose of his trip remained unclear. The silence from management regarding their presence in New York only fueled more speculation. Were they preparing a joint project? Or was this a private meeting, a form of emotional support amid rising career pressures? Many fans and observers stated that the moment didn't seem like part of any professional agenda. There were no signs of production, crew, or other commercial activities visible. Fan reactions were deeply emotional. Across various social media platforms, thousands of comments and posts emerged, filled with sentiment and empathy. Many interpreted Jimin's presence as a sign of deep concern for Jungkook's condition, who has recently appeared more quiet and withdrawn. In several past live streams, Jungkook showed signs of fatigue, though he kept trying to smile. This raised concern from fans who have followed both of them closely since their debut with BTS. Jimin and Jungkook's bond has been known to be strong since the beginning of their careers. The two often display their close friendship both on stage and in everyday life. However, a private meeting like this, without media intervention, without advertising, and without a script, is extremely rare in the highly structured K-pop industry. This strengthens the belief that the New York encounter carried a deep personal meaning. Some fan community sources mentioned that Jimin had been following Jungkook's condition closely over recent weeks. Speculation suggests he decided to follow to the US suddenly after learning about his friend's increasingly withdrawn emotional state. Many believe that Jimin's decision to fly to New York without an announcement was a spontaneous response based on an emotional bond built over more than a decade. The circulated photos clearly show genuine intimacy. In one shot, their footsteps align in rhythm, and in several moments, they seem absorbed in conversation or simply enjoying silence together. There were no phones in their hands, no indication they were creating content. Everything looked natural, even far from any hint of publicity. Precisely because of that, the moment went viral and became meaningful. Amid the pressure of the music industry, moments like this become very significant. This is not just about two big stars seen in a big city. It's about human support, sincere presence, and unmanufactured friendship. Fans said this moment reminded them of the core values that have long been BTS's foundation: brotherhood, emotional support, and connections that transcend fame. Speculation about a potential collaborative project continues. Some fans believe this may mark the start of a new creative endeavor between the two, perhaps in music, a documentary, or even a visual project. However, many others refuse to read too much into it, choosing instead to see this as a rare act of personal solidarity. In an entertainment industry that often demands perfection, Jimin's presence for Jungkook is a reminder that emotional honesty still has a place. Some international media outlets have started highlighting this event as a headline, albeit with a more cautious tone. There was no invasion of privacy, as the moment was captured in a public space. Yet, The approach by global media this time reflects an awareness that not all celebrity interactions must be dissected for public consumption. On the contrary, many opted to let the moment speak for itself, as a sign of respect for the depth of their relationship. This event also sparked broader discussions about the importance of emotional presence in artists' lives, especially in an industry as intense as K-pop. Fans began sharing personal stories about how small moments like this can make a big impact. Many felt inspired to become more open with their own emotions and more appreciative of friends who show up quietly when needed. So far, there has been no further information about Jimin and Jungkook's activities in New York. Neither has made any public comments or posted on social media regarding their meeting. But one thing is certain, this silence has only deepened the moment's meaning. The absence of clarification becomes its own statement, that not everything needs explaining, and that not every expression of care must be packaged in a perfect narrative. For many, Jimin and Jungkook that night were not just two global artists walking the streets of New York. They became a symbol that in a harsh and noisy world, simple concern and sincere presence can still have a powerful impact. And for millions of fans around the globe, that was more than enough. Moving forward, public attention may remain on them. Will a collaboration arise from this meeting? Will they return to Korea and share the story behind their time together? Or will the moment stay just as it is? A portrait of emotional honesty that is simple yet stirring. One thing is certain, the moment has left an unforgettable mark. And in a world that moves too fast, sometimes the most valuable thing is the slow walk of two people side by side on a quiet night, without words, but full of meaning. This article was written based on observations of a public event captured in an open space. All information was compiled independently without quoting any official statement from any party. What makes this incident resonate so deeply is not merely the fact that two major stars were seen in public, but the emotional context and timing behind it. At a moment when their individual schedules are under immense pressure, the public viewed Jimin's presence as more than just a friend's visit. It became a reflection of a basic human need, even for those at the center of global attention. The need to not feel alone in South Korea's music industry, where fans closely follow every public and private move of their idols. Moments like this hold the potential to shape major narratives. But in this case, the narrative emerged not from official claims or media promotion, but from collective emotional resonance. An image of two young men strolling through New York streets may not be rare for ordinary citizens. But when that image involves figures with global exposure like Jimin and Jungkook, its meaning shifts much deeper. What followed the event showed that the fan community wasn't just observing, it created a more empathetic space for dialogue. Online discussions shifted from career speculation to sharing about mental health, career pressure, and the importance of emotional support. Many fans even cited the moment as motivation to pay more attention to those around them. This reaction reinforces that BTS is no longer just a music group, but a cultural force sparking collective awareness across nations. Some pop culture analysts say this situation reveals the power of idol humanization. In the midst of rigid, often dehumanizing fame structures, authentic moments like these break the barrier between artist and public. Jimin and Jungkook, without saying a word, showed that even they have limits, and that the presence of another human remains the highest form of support. This phenomenon shows how silence can become the most effective form of communication, that being physically present, with no expectation, is a powerful message. The domino effect of this one encounter doesn't stop at entertainment. In professional media circles, discussions are arising about celebrity coverage ethics and the importance of maintaining balance between exposure and an artist's personal space. Several international media outlets chose not to sensationalize, avoiding intrusion of privacy. This signals a changing approach, viewing artists as human subjects, not merely public figures to be exploited. Even though no further details have been released by any party regarding how long Jimin stayed in New York or what they did after the recorded moment, fans seem not to demand an explanation. They are content with one truth. that these two friends found each other in the right place and at the right time, and that not all forms of love, support, or care need to be explained verbally or labeled commercially in a global context that's often too fast, too noisy, and filled with too many expectations. This moment brings a rare contrast, a calm presence full of meaning. As one fan wrote on social media, "They didn't speak, but the whole world heard." That phrase describes how one small moment can echo an enormous sense of care.